It's almost like saying, look, I like ice cream. Anna, what is wrong with you that you don't like ice cream? Are you a weirdo? What's wrong? Without bothering to find out she's lactose intolerant. Free. Or someone got beaten with a pizza when they were kids, so they hate pizza. There's so many things that if you take just a second to figure it out and look at the person, my God, there's a wealth of information. And I got tricks and techniques of how do I do it? How do I walk into a case when someone says, I want $100 million, and the other one says, here's 10,000, drop dead.
Hey, Anna, do you think people are listening?
Yeah, why wouldn't they be? We make business so fun.
Don't we? In that case, let's introduce ourselves.
Hey, it's Anna and Selena and the 15-ish minute coffee chat podcast. Talking business doesn't have to be boring, so dive into our coffee chat conversations and learn something new for your small business.
All right, go. This is what we do. This is what we do.
Are you comfortable with conflict when it flares up in your business? Whether you like it or not, conflict is going to happen in your life. And whatever that conflict is, you need to make sure that you have the skills to meet it head on and feel confident that you're making the right choices for you and your business. Today's guest, Hesha Abrams, has a mission to help people gain the skills to confidently deal with and resolve conflict in their lives. We're talking about resolving conflict for small business owners with Hesha Abrams today during the 15-ish minute coffee chat, live streaming podcast with Anna and Selena. So welcome to 12 seasons of helping entrepreneurs and small business owners build more profitable businesses.
12 seasons. What?
Oh, I love it. So
we're excited. Like, I'm excited. I can jump out of my seat. I'm cutting off my co-host here because look, I'm going to tell you straight up. When conflict arises, my almost innate feeling is to run instead of face on, right? Anna, and I've learned this from her, she's so good at being like, hold up. And I'm like running. And I'm like, yeah, run for your life. There's conflict. But I've been learning this, and it's a new skill of mine. And so having Hesha on, I don't know. She's fabulous.
Here's the thing, right? Like, what I'm really curious to see is what's the right, because some people get real angry right back. Some people want to turn and flee. Others do this mixture of understanding or let's all kumbaya together for a minute, right? And just give it a big group hug. And it will set the conflict to like escalate, right? So I'm super excited to hear what Hesha has to say about this. But before we get started, we're going to drop our call to action in because we want you, while you're listening today, drop in the comments today. Are you comfortable with conflict? So are you running? Are you running like Selena is? Are you putting up your fists like I do? Which I don't really fight. I just say, hold up. So are you putting up your finger?
Her face tells you she's ready for a battle. I would be scared. Only one time. I think we told this to Hesha backstage, right? Where she was a grumpy pant. No, that was our other guest. But Anna can be grumpy. And I will tell you, there's a method and a technique I use, and I know we don't swear, so I'll go bleep. My method when dealing with conflict is called the aloha and bleep method, and that's how I use that method to diffuse conflict and get me through it. I'm curious what Hesha is going to say about that. Okay, let's read her bio because I'm so excited. I'm just going to read the whole bio because she's amazing. Hesha Abrams is an internationally acclaimed master attorney, mediator, negotiator, and deal maker who for 30 plus years has been renowned for her success in resolving high profile or difficult matters, including mediating the case over the secret recipe for Pepsi, you guys. Can you believe it? She has worked with Apple, Google, Amazon, Facebook, IBM, Verizon, and other large multinational companies, as well as individuals, inventors, and small businesses, creating deals and solving disputes. She has distilled her experience into a popular new book, Holding the Calm: The Secret to Resolving Conflict and Diffusing Tension. So it's an easy to use toolkit and insightful, practical, and easy to use guide that anyone can use to diffuse tension, eliminate conflict, and make deals in their own lives. Oh, you guys, can you believe it?
No, I'm going to just bring Hesha up because we all
Yeah.
want to ask the question about Pepsi.
Everybody.
I hope that was not too much hype, but we are so honored to have you on today's show.
My pleasure. And I laugh because the two of you describe conflict so well. I like to joke that it's either a root canal or a colonoscopy without anesthesia. Which one are you going from? Because who says, oh, conflict, please come to me.
I often think this is why we're such a good team, though, Selena and I, right?
Yeah.
Because I want to fight, she wants to flee, and then we come together in that moment of, all right, where's the middle ground, right? Which I think maybe probably the best answer, but I don't know. That's what we're going to do.
Wait, okay, I'm going to have a subject that's not part of any of the questions. But am I echoing again? Is that
a little bit? Yeah, just a little bit, but that's okay.
Yeah, but my question is, like, when you have a business partners come into you, Hesha, and they're like, hey, this is how I am and this is how she is, who do you recommend being the person to move forward with resolving conflicts as a company?
That's easy. You need somebody that can see both sides. And that's because, think about it, all of us as human beings, the easiest analogy really is you got an Apple iPhone operating system or a Samsung. You get people that are diehard Apple and diehard Samsung. They're smartphones. They just operate differently. Just imagine someone's a thinker versus a feeler. Imagine someone's a big picture person or a detail person. Imagine that their brain processes information as a visual, auditory, or kinesthetic learner. This is not hard stuff to do. And I talk about it in the book exactly how to do that. It just lets you initially groove with someone. It's almost like saying, look, I like ice cream. Anna, what is wrong with you that you don't like ice cream? Are you a weirdo? What's wrong? Without bothering to find out, she's lactose intolerant. Free. Or someone got beaten with a pizza when they were kids, so they hate pizza. There's so many things that if you take just a second to figure it out and look at the person, my God, there's a wealth of information. And I got tricks and techniques of how do I do it? How do I walk into a case when someone says, I want $100 million, and the other one says, here's 10,000, drop dead. You don't settle those things with logic, reason, or rationale. And for all of our listeners, think of the last argument you ever had with someone of the opposite sex, just to make it fun. You use logic, you use reason, you used rationale. Did it work?
Yeah.
No.
Isn't that what we do? It's almost like you go to a doctor and the doctor says, I gave the blue pills to the guy before you, so I'll give them to you too. You go, whoa, wait a minute. What are you doing here, dude? That's what this stuff is all about. And so anyway, I want to answer some of your questions because I know you've got questions for me, but I'm excited. This should be taught in schools. And why should only professionals like me have access to this information? This should be for everybody. You don't need a master's degree. You don't need to take some fancy master course. You don't need a fancy little training that no one has training budgets anymore. You just need a few things like we're cavemen and women shoving food in our mouths. Here's a fork. Here's a spoon. Here's chopsticks.
Oh, I love
to do.
Favorite line. We talk about a shirt. Every time a guest is like, what would be this guest shirt quote? And that is it right there, Hesha. That would be your
We're
shirt.
all caveman. Here's a fork.
Yes.
Like it's just that reminder that the just have okay. I know we're already getting into the conversation. So
all right. Okay, wait.
we're gonna rewind for just a minute and we're gonna do our copycat. Yeah.
Yeah, that thing. Okay.
Yeah.
On 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay.
Perfect.
All right. Man, I could hang out with you all day, Hesha, like all day.
Me too. I feel people are. Let me start with one quick thing because I'm going to give so many tips and ways to do it. But people listening to us are saying that would never work with blah, blah, because she's a narcissist. or he's a psychopath, or they're so selfish, or figure out the label. We throw labels around real super easy. And let's say that's true. I don't want to say, oh no, they've had a difficult childhood and we should understand that. I know in the midst of conflict, I don't care. You stop bothering me. Stop making me do something I don't want to do or do what I'm telling you to do. It's this power conflict that happens. And so if I look at you and label you instantly, which is what we do, we're human beings. I can't get anything done if I go, Anna's an idiot or Selena is a narcissist. Okay, now I just put up a brick wall and I can't do anything. So the number one trick for everyone listening to us, think about somebody difficult in your life and you have to negotiate a deal with them or co-parent a custody arrangement with an ex or a homeowners association or at church or synagogue or a workplace. I don't care what the issue is. Look at the person and ask yourself one question. Would they pull my kid out of a burning car? 95% of the time, the answer to that is yes. That's called paradigm shifting. And what it does is it shifts the sympathetic nervous system in your brain from that fight flight thing you guys were talking about to, okay, I'm not going to die. I have some power here. Maybe this person isn't a saber-toothed tiger. Let me figure out how to get him other food than me so I can get what I want. It gives you that space. And that's what holding the calm is. It's a moat between what we feel and how we choose to react. It's really like having magic beans. I'm telling you.
That is such a great question. Like you said, to just shift that energy that you're emoting because of that. I'm leaning in so hard right now, Hesha. I'm just like, tell us more. Thank you for starting it off that way. And I hope everybody listening, like whether it's on the podcast or you're going to watch this like on YouTube or LinkedIn or Facebook, but if you are watching this, like just think about that. Like she said, the next time you're coming up on somebody very difficult, would that person save your kid? And if you don't have a kid, like your pet, do you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
We know how
Your parent. Whatever you love, right? Whatever you love.
Do you want another one that works?
Yeah.
This is the one I told you, ladies, backstage. This works on the cranky, nasty, politically incorrect uncle at Thanksgiving.
Yes.
It works on the blowhard at the office who never listens to anyone's opinion but his or her own and takes credit for your ideas. It works on a difficult teenager. It works on a really hard mother-in-law. You name it. This works every single time. And the way I designed the book is it's 20 tools in 20 chapters. Each chapter has tools, sentence ends, stories. And I tell people, take my stories, use them because they've all been battle tested. They all last 30 seconds and they all work to make a certain point. So for example, if let's say I have a difficult person and I do that paradigm shifting thing in my head and man, I'm having trouble because I hate you or I'm scared of you or you are impossible to deal with. Okay, try, but it's still in my head. So now I'm feeling powerless. When you feel powerless, you react poorly because you feel like you've got no tools. That's why I call it holding the calm, because it's for you. I can hold the calm because I've got tools and I've got choices. So I'm going to take charge of this little interaction that we're having here. So let's just use Thanksgiving dinner or the boardroom as our example, or the snotty teenager who just blaz out with something. And your reaction is to want to go fight hard or run away. You know what you do? You choose your verb. And I will look at you and say, Anna, you know what I admire about you? Guess what happens? Everyone stops talking. It's what a wonderful thing you had to say about me. I want to hear that. And you can make it any verb you want. You know what I admire about you? You know what I respect about you? Do you know what I like about you? Do you know what I love about you? Do you know how easy it is to say those things? And you know what the easy answer is for all of them? Your enthusiasm, your passion, your commitment, your curiosity, your energy, your enthusiasm. It doesn't matter. Think about how true all of that is and can be said for anybody. And you know what it does to that next person? They go, whoa, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do. So now in that interaction, Who's got the power?
Yeah.
You do.
Oh my
You
gosh, this
do.
is so good.
Yeah, you
This
had me at teenager.
I know.
I'm using this on my daughter when she comes home in an hour because
Yep.
there is a lot of
Yep.
hostility. I think anybody that has teens knows, but
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm going to try it on her first, and then I'm going to definitely push it out. I don't know. If Anna gets spicy with me, Hesha, maybe I'll use it on her. We'll see.
Do it. And then you wait.
Yeah.
After you do it, now wait a minute and let her
Yeah.
does not compute what
Yeah.
you're doing, what's
Right.
happening. You may have to do it a second time. And
Yeah.
then your next question is, tell me more.
Yeah.
And you know what she's going to say? She's going to say, Mom's changed. Something's happened with Mom.
No, I love it. It's a great way to just like disarm them. I really, and it's such an easy thing to implement,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. For
Well, you know-
anybody at any
Yeah.
time. And it's also, it's great when you feel power and you want to direct it, like you're a parent to a teenager. But it's even better when you feel powerless because it gives you back power in a gentle way. It's very respectful. It's very loving. It's very opening of the conversation. But clearly, you're the one who's holding the calm. You're the one who's mature. And that's the other tip I would give our listeners. Why did I call the book Holding the Calm? The Secret to Resolving Conflict and Diffusing Tension. It's a little on the long side for me, but I did it on purpose because I'm like everybody else. You can piss me off. You can get me angry. What do I do for myself when I walk into 20 lawyers all ripping each other apart? In my own head, I say, I'm holding the calm. I'm holding the calm. I'm holding the calm. It takes 2 seconds and it tells my amygdala and my sympathetic nervous system, I got tools and choices here. I'm not powerless. I got something I can do. Choose, Obi-Wan. Choose wisely. What you
Yeah.
do. And then you can do that for others and you can hold it for them. It becomes magical. Situations that are people at each other's throats, all of a sudden calm down. And no one can ever say why. What did you do? They're just going to say, you know what, Selena, you just get along with people. Or Anna,
Yeah.
you just know how to get things done. People seem to listen to you. That's what they're going to talk about, the effect. But it's this stuff. This is the secret stuff I use in real life with big egos and big personalities. And it works. And I decided I'm going to write this cheap little $15 paperback so everybody can have access.
Yeah.
So you know what's interesting to me? I just have so many times when I think of conflict, it's take the emotion out of it. But that's not what you're saying. It's really about the power.
Correct.
Who's holding the power?
Yeah.
And when you feel powerless, you feel uncomfortable and angry.
Correct.
And so it's getting yourself back into that space of feeling like you do have those choices. That's going to make the difference between being able to resolve something or not resoulve something.
Exactly. And the thing is, you can say take the emotion out of it, but man, say let's make chocolate cake not fattening. Like, if someone's pissed off or angry or hurt or upset or powerless, that's there. And it has to be dealt with. But this is what I tell people. Best is the enemy of better. I'm not your shrink. I'm not your therapist. I don't have to understand everything. I don't have to fix everything. All I need to do is not have this bomb explode. All I have to do is move that out of the way so I can get what I need or get you what you need. I can choose to solve the problem this big or this big. My choice, my power. And if I look at something where, boy, that's a sticky wicket, okay, we're going to deal with it here. And that is called good. If I can go for a warm piece and more relationship and make it bigger because people are emotionally mature or they've been beaten down enough, they're willing to do it, sure, I'll go for bigger. But small winnable victories, my friends. I have a whole chapter in the book calling Small Winnable Victories is how you build something, not from big, huge things. Then it just fails.
I swear to God, I think I'm going to fall off my chair because I keep moving back and forth because I'm just like, this is so great. And like you said, this is something that should be taught in like school. Like our kids could benefit from being able to navigate the world in a better, more confident way with conflict, because that is an absolute thing they will encounter in their adulthood after school.
They do it anyway. I'm actually in the process right now of writing Holding the Calm for Kids and Holding the Calm for Teens. which I'm going to launch together at the same time because this has been an Amazon bestseller and I'm in
Yeah.
large corporations and law firms are teaching it inside.
Yeah.
And people say, I need it for my kids.
Yeah.
So I'm in the process of doing that because if you can get people when they're young to learn, how do I do this? How do I have a girl break up with me and my world didn't fall apart?
Yeah.
How do I get
Yeah.
fired? How do I not get the part of the play? How do I not
Yeah.
get credit for an idea and I don't fall into devastation or some horrible thing?
Yeah.
Because you get power. You
Yeah.
learn how to have personal power. And we can do all the raw post stuff we want, but in the end, I need a fork. I need a spoon. I need chopsticks. I need to have some tools.
Hesha, I have 2 other shows that you need to be on, so definitely look for this email, especially for the kids one. Okay, look, we could talk to you all day, but I realize everybody has time, so we got to move on to that second question, right, Anna?
Yes, we do. We want to. Yeah, you covered what is holding the calm. I feel like you gave me this light bulb aha moment happening. So question 2 comes now. You've held your calm. The conflict is still there. They're not playing. They're still grumpy. So it feels impossible. Now, what are you doing? What's the second step?
You got it. So the analogy I use is that a bomb detector. Bomb in the town square, that guy waddles out in his Michelin suit, right? He didn't just start cutting wires. He diagnoses. Is it a pressure switch? Is it a chemical switch? What is it? You have to take a minute to do that. You have to look at something and say, what is the barrier here? What is the problem? Maybe it's someone's emotional immaturity. Maybe it's someone is just hangry, tired and angry. And maybe it's not understanding, although facts never persuade. I want to remind people of that. Maybe it's the needing to be validated. Maybe it's the need not to be wrong. So you take a minute to look at what is that? And then you ask yourself the next question, are they a thinker or a feeler? If they're a thinker and you've been talking with feeling stuff, phew. If they're a feeler and you've been talking with thinking stuff, phew. You know how easy that is? It's verbs. How do you feel about this versus how do you think about this? What you do is you give up power. It seems sort of stalemate here. What do you think we should do? What would be the best path forward for you? What is a barrier for you? What do you think are the barriers for me? When would you like to go out to lunch? Where do you think we should eat? How do you think we should approach this? See how all of that are power questions? You give up power on the little unimportant stuff, and the person goes, okay. Because our brains are wired for friend or foe. I'd like you to be friend and not foe. Then we can collaborate and discuss, and maybe you get something and maybe I get something. I have an advanced technique in the book called VUCS, VUCS, validate, understand, clarify, summarize. It takes about 15 to 20 minutes to do it correctly. And it works almost every single time. It's fabulous. You got to work up to being able to do that. So I have all these different techniques in the book to answer that question. First of all, what's the problem I'm solving for? I don't want to give you ice cream if you're lactose intolerant. And I'm not going to offer you pizza if you're gluten-free or offer a steak to a vegetarian. I'm going to take a minute to see you. And the part that's so beautiful about this is I've done all kinds of cultural diversity things and DEI things. Why would I treat you by your clothes? I would take a minute and I would see you. Who are you? What's important to you? And guess what? You will tell me. You will let me know. This is not hard for me to figure out. And what happens is people feel that your give a darn meter is turned on. They will feel that. They don't see each other. So they see all the labels and the outside and you're different than me. I'm afraid of you. It's power. It's all that junk. When you get rid of that, I'm interested in Anna. I'm interested in Selena. I'm interested in Joe. And what makes them tick, they feel that. And guess what? Friend or foe calms the heck down. Now, maybe you care about who Hesha is. Maybe you don't, but that's okay. But maybe you do. And it is magnificent. And I guarantee you with cranky teenagers, Selena, first of all, you couldn't pay me to be a teenager again. All that hormones drop kicking into your little body, and middle school and high school were horrible. Like, God, you got to give them a lot of grace. It's terrible. And they don't know where they fit in the power structure. So if you give them power, they are going to just calm the heck down and adore you, and then listen to you on the important stuff when it isn't. It's really, I raised 2 teenagers, and I have 2 adult children now and in-law children that love me.
Yeah.
So this stuff works.
I came here legit for business stuff, but she's already given me techniques that I'm implementing with my teenager today.
It's not, this is the thing though, right? You're going to hit conflict in every aspect of your life, but the strategies that you just outlined are the same across the board. It doesn't matter if it's at home or at your business or with your bestie at the coffee shop, right? Like,
you are right. The CEO can be an 8-year-old throwing a tantrum.
Yeah.
Or the teacher or the kid, or they can be super mature. It's just people, and life is bumper car ego. And this is the other thing. The 3 of us are all very mature, right? We're all so emotionally mature. But you know what? You poke me hard enough, get me when I'm hungry or angry or tired or disappointed, I'm not going to react at my best. Who does? And conflict never brings out the best in us, ever. When you learn to have a little grace for yourself, you learn to have a little grace for others. And then when you have power, you're like a doctor. You've got medicine. You got things you can do. It's a very heady, wonderful feeling, I'll tell you.
Okay, you know what? We're shuffling on, because if I don't, I'm scared that we're gonna have Hesha here until tomorrow, because this is such a great conversation. We have talked about her book a couple of times. So obviously, guess what we have done, you guys? That's the toolkit we want to share. Real quick, I'm just gonna say we are gonna drop the link for Hesha's book in the podcast description, the YouTube description. You'll see it on our show notes on our blog. But Hesha, tell everybody a little bit about this book. Why did you write it?
For the reasons we've talked about today. And I purposely insisted with the publisher that it be an inexpensive paperback. I think it's 15 or 16 bucks on Amazon. And there's wholesale that you can get them. I think if you buy 100, you get them for 10 bucks. And part of the reason I did this, and I want to tell people, connect with me on LinkedIn. I post every single day, some inspiring tidbit, something. I don't sell the lists. I'm not selling myself as a big trainer. I'll do some of that, but I'm a mediator. I'm busy. I'm working, doing my regular job. I literally just wanted people to have this. So they can connect with me on LinkedIn, on holdingthecalm.com. I think I've done about 100 podcasts. All of them are on there. I've got ones where we focus on teenagers. I've got ones where we focus on workplace. I got ones where we focus on leadership. And people can hear all different kinds of things. And then what I also did in the back of the book, I put a free training guide. And that's because training budgets are being slashed. And you don't learn as much if someone comes in, and we call it entertainment. Someone, big speaker, comes in, they speak, and at the end of the day, you go, that was great. What did you learn? Right? So it's good for keynotes and for conferences and things. But if you really want to have skill development, I put a training guide in the back of the book that tracks the book. So if you get it within your unit, your organization, your family, and you just start going down the questions, discussing them, even something as silly as, what did you think of that Teddy Roosevelt story? And someone goes, I thought that was stupid. And someone else says, I found it very meaningful. Really? Why? Now you got a whole conversation. The amount you will learn about the other person without grilling them, asking questions, by them just volunteering, by going through that, it will make whatever team you have, whatever workplace you have, so much richer and so much better, without having to go do some trust building thing, fall off a bridge somewhere. So that's why
when I reviewed this, I was like, yeah, I'm going to get this. But now I'm like, legit, today I'm going to grab it, because I don't know. This is just everything you just shared today.
So listen, I teach at a homeschool co-op, and as soon as that teenage version comes out, this is a class I'm going to offer. Because I feel like even just what we talked about today, I feel more empowered, a human being, to do something differently than I have been doing. And that's kind of, it's been what, 30 minutes that I've known you, right?
I know.
I want to say you're amazing at what you do.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I mean, it's very clear that you're as good at what you do as you are, because even just in these 30 minutes, I feel empowered to do differently. And that's awesome.
That makes me so happy, because think of the state of the world. I say something nice, you say something mean, you're a jerk, I'm going to punch you, or get a gun, or shoot you, or blow you up, or cut you out of my life. Think about our capacity is this. What if we just made our capacity that? Can you imagine? Much less that? Oh, for God's sakes. And this is all doable. This is like a world where there was no antibiotics and people died of the flu. And now we have antibiotics. Stuff is, and I want everyone to have it. So you made me feel wonderful. Thank you, ladies.
Yay. No, Hesha, thank you so much. Seriously, we can't wait for this show to air and all the things. And just from the bottom of our hearts, thank you so much. Seriously. And I definitely will connect later, because I'm not joking. I have 2 shows that we need you to be on. And you're just fabulous. Thank you, everybody, for watching today. And I hope that you have found some nuggets here that you're going to implement as soon as you're done with the show. So
yeah, you can buy the fork t-shirt when it comes out. We'll let you know.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Oh my gosh. Did they actually make it to the outro music?
I told you this would work, Selena.
Okay. Well, thanks for tuning in to today's show. Now head on over to annaandselena.com to listen to more of the 15-ish minute coffee chat. We've got over 100 episodes, all geared to making your businesses more fun and profitable.